Welcome back from the ad break. You are still watching Prime Life. Now, with us today, we have Fatima Zahra Mayet, who is a representative of Protect the Rohingya, who is the visionary behind the Poetry Against Genocide initiative. Now, this powerful project aims to give voice to stories of silence genocide victims through the written word and poetry. Now, today, Fatima will be discussing the upcoming Poetry Against Genocide event at IT Corner in Melville, where poets and writers will come together to commemorate genocides that have gone untold and to raise awareness about the ongoing struggle for justice and remembrance. Assalamu alaikum, Fatima. Jazakallah so much for joining us on Prime Life, and welcome.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. Now, Fatima, can you tell us what inspired the Protect the Rohingya to start the Poetry Against Genocide initiative?
Sure. The Rohingya historical tradition is a largely oral tradition, and poetry plays a huge role in how these traditions are preserved and passed down to future generations. So this year, when we were planning for the genocide commemoration on the 25th of August, we wanted to do something different, but also something that has been part of Rohingya traditions for over 800 years.
That's beautiful, mashallah. Now, how did you see poetry as an effective way or an effective means to raise awareness and education in the often ignored atrocities?
So poetry has the ability to give a voice to like the marginalized and the voiceless, which then allows us to foster empathy and engage in solidarity with other human beings. It can also inspire us to take actions in situations of genocide and help us to learn from the past. It allows poets to speak truth to power from critiquing systems of oppression to just challenging them outright. Poetry also fosters collective action and can serve as a vehicle to bring new participation towards a cause.
Mm. And I think I love the fact that the event also intends on, commemorating and speaking about the genocides that are taking place and are often not spoken about. So can you please share with us, some of the genocides that people speak lesser about so that we can all be informed?
Yeah, of course. So in addition to the Rohingya, this event highlights the ongoing genocides in Palestine, Sudan, and the Congo, but it also commemorates the genocides that took place during the 90s in Rwanda and Bosnia, as well as the genocide that took place right next door to us in Namibia at the start of the 20th century. They say this genocide served as a precursor to the Holocaust, and Germany only began to recognize the role it played in this genocide a few years ago. Lastly, during the process of putting this event together, I learned about the Khmer Rouge and the genocide that took place in Cambodia during 1975.
Mm. Jazakallah so much for sharing that with us. Now, the Poetry Against Genocide project emphasizes handwritten poems, as a way to personalize the message and add a sense of intimacy. Can you talk to us about the significance of handwritten poetry in this context and why you chose this specific medium for the project?
Yeah, I think it's important because in a time when everyone is constantly on social media, Instagram, and we thought that the poets writing by hand would bring a sense of authenticity to the project as well. However, some of the poets have said that they prefer to submit type submissions, and we are accepting those because not everyone has a handwriting you can read.
Mm. And just beyond raising awareness, what concrete actions or outcomes do you hope to achieve through this Poetry Against Genocide initiative?
So, through this initiative, we hope to educate the public about both ongoing as well as past genocides in a way that might be novel and accessible. And furthermore, we hope to continue to receive submissions and participation in this initiative going forward. And eventually, we hope we can create an archive of poetry which commemorates all these lesser known genocides.
Mm. And I think in the beginning we mentioned, how poetry is also such an important tool to raise awareness on such important topics. But I wonder if you could please reflect with us on the power of poetry as a tool for social change. But what do you also see as the role of art and literature in advancing human rights and promoting understanding and compassion in our world?
So poetry is a really powerful tool for social change. It gives a voice to the marginalized. It allows us to feel a sense of empathy and solidarity among diverse groups of human beings. It could lead to like collective action and challenging
Mm.
oppressive power structures and narratives. Moreover, access to art and literature can help simplify really complicated issues and make them accessible to just the ordinary person. So we might not always have time to read a press release or journal articles, but we can also just learn a lot from images and sounds and literature as well.
Mm. And in terms of the event, is this the first kind of event that you've ever hosted, or have you hosted events similar to this before?
So it is the first poetry event that we've hosted, but usually every year since 2017, we try to do something in August to commemorate this genocide.
Mashallah, that's good. And for those who might be interested in joining the event, what are the details? Where is it happening? Are there tickets that are being sold? And also, what are the times?
Sure. So, in the run up to the event taking place next week, Monday, we've had a social media campaign called A Poem Against Genocide. And listeners can see some of the poetry submissions that we've received on our Instagram page. And we've also uploaded some fact sheets. So, if listeners are interested, they can learn about the lesser known genocides. And then as for the poetry event on Monday, it's at IT Corner in Melville, Johannesburg, and it starts at 7 o'clock. It's free to attend, and we hope lots of listeners will come out and see the curated lineup of performances from our South African poets that we have that day.
Can you maybe give us a lineup of how the event is going to be like from when it starts so that anyone that's interested in coming can know what to expect at the event?
Sure, it's not a very formal event, but we'll have an introduction and we'll speak a bit about the Rohingya genocide. And then we hand over to our renowned poet, Philippa Dia from the University of Witwatersrand. And she'll be in charge of the poetry readings from different poets who read poems relating to the different genocides. And that's kind of the bulk of our event.
Mm. Mashallah, that's great. Now, before I do let you go, I do know that with every host, whenever you host an event or plan an event, there is, an impact that you hope it will have on the attendees or something that you expect they will take home with. And in particular to this event, what do you hope those who will be attending will take away as, a reflection or, any kind of impact that you hope it will have on them?
Yeah, I think they'll walk away with a lot of knowledge, learning about these known genocides, and also learn that almost anyone can become culpable. It can be, in some of these cases, it was neighbors or family members that were turning against people. And so I think more importantly, we need people to walk away with knowledge and reflections of what could happen to ordinary people at any time, and an understanding that hopefully never again can please be never again.
Mm. I mean, Zahra, Jazakallah so much for joining us and, for giving us insight on what to expect at this beautiful event. And before I let you go, is there anything else that you'd like to say to our viewers watching now?
Yeah, just please engage with us, and if you have any poets in the viewers, like please submit your poems to a poem against genocide on Instagram so that we can put your poem up there as well. Thank you.
Jazakallah so much, Fatima. Viewers at home, that was Fatima Zahra Mayet, and she was just talking to us about the Poetry Against Genocide event that's going to be happening in Melville. And she did mention that the event is free, so you can head over to their website so that maybe you can register, book, and be part of this educational event. It's not just an event, it's something that's going to leave you very well informed. And I love the fact that they will be also speaking about other genocides. So if you do not know about them, this is an opportunity for you to learn so that you can know how to contribute positively to what's happening. But without wasting any time, let's go to a quick break. We'll see you after.